I really like go-karts, and I built my kids a few go-karts over the years, regular 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton go-karts and Predator go-kart. Nothing crazy, just for around the yard at the house. And I've been wanting to build one for myself, but the problem is I'm 6'2", 240 pounds, and so I need a big go-kart, big motor, and I don't like to spend a lot of money on anything I build. But I got a frame like a year ago, and recently I finally got a motor and all the doodads and little things that I need to make it go. And I think that this week I can go ahead and get myself a go-kart going. Let's talk a little bit about the go-kart. It's apparently a Murray Explorer go-kart. I can fit on this thing just fine. It's a big cart. The way these things were originally set up, the motor mounts to this plate, and it's a torque converter cart. It's got like a CVT torque converter with a belt, and it mounts to this thing right here, this jack shaft. Shoots across, and then the chain attached to the axle back there. It's got a disc brake. That's really all you need to know. Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I can't remember, a coworker at my work built this go-kart, put it all together for his kids for Christmas. I can't remember how long ago it was. That's why it's got this nice, beautiful seat on here. I don't know what happened, if he took the motor off, put it on a different go-kart or something. But, so yeah, that's what we're starting with. Now, I looked it up, and this cart, when it was brand new, when you could buy it from wherever, Walmart or wherever this cart came from, it had a 6.5 horsepower motor on it, probably. There's a million Predator builds on YouTube. There's a million go-kart builds. There's everything from motorcycle engines to snowmobile engines, and there's one with the LS motor on it. Okay, I don't got the money or time to invest in a go-kart and doing a bunch of fabrication on this thing. I want more or less just kind of a bolt-up deal. But the hot rodder in me does not want a Predator motor. Predator motors are basically the LS motor of the go-kart mini bike world. Okay. They are great motors. They're very powerful, very reliable, easy to acquire. They're cheap. There's a ton of modifications out there for them, but that's just not what I want to do. If I was going to do that, I could have just bought a go-kart with that already on it and just drove it around instead of building something. Same thing with a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton. 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton is basically the Chevy 350 of the go-kart world. They're old school, but every go-kart ever had those for a million years. And this is more like a big block Chevy. What I got here is an 11 horsepower Briggs & Stratton, much larger than a 5 horse. I got a 5 horse up there on the shelf. I'm not going to compare them. This thing's like a massive monster compared to that. It's got great compression. I poured some gas in it, fired it off once, and it's great. It's going to take a little bit of messing around and like drilling holes and maybe a little grinding here and there to get this thing actually on here, but we can do it. Shouldn't be a huge deal. I think the first thing I'm going to do is strip down this motor, get everything off of it that I'm not going to use. I won't be using the fuel tank. I won't be using this crazy U-shaped carburetor or this intake. I won't be using this exhaust right here. Gonna strip all this down. This thing's like super heavy as it is, and I'm not gonna take it on and off the go-kart with all this crap on here that I'm not even gonna use. So we're gonna do something really cool with the fuel tanks. You'll see, it's gonna be awesome. I broke off these studs for the exhaust. That's okay. I'm just gonna leave them in there. These have pipe threads in them, all these Briggs motors. So you can just get a piece of black pipe from the hardware store, which is exactly what we're gonna do. If this was one of the kids, we'd definitely put a muffler on it, but this is mine. We're just gonna straight pipe it right out the back. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be loud. Now I'm gonna take off this carburetor and this intake. Thankfully, they put Phillips head screws in there. I don't know, and a flathead right here. I don't know who decided to do all that, but that's probably gonna be terrible to get out. We won't be putting them back in there though. This seems like a terrible idea to do this, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Broke it. All right, carburetor I'm using is this Nibby brand. It's like a performance-y kind of dirt bike, mini bike kind of carburetor that, you know, has all kinds of knobs and tuning stuff and comes with jets and all that. Now, I knew that the port on this was really, really large. It's like over an inch. And so I went in and got one that was pretty close. It's a little over an inch. It's about the same size. But the bolt holes on this are spaced different than the bolt holes on that. I kind of figured that was going to be the case, and so I'm going to make a little tiny intake manifold on here. I got two carburetor flanges cut out, one for the carburetor side, one for the head side. I'm gonna connect them with a pipe. I think I'm gonna shoot it off at an angle this way a little bit to get it away from this exhaust. All right, so this is my custom exhaust system from the hardware store. It's a 1-inch black pipe. It'll thread right into the block right there. I'm going to use the same pipe for the intake manifold. See, I've got the flange bolted up here. I'm going to try to kick it off to the side just a little bit. I already put the motor over on the go-kart to see if the exhaust is going to clear. It is not going to clear this pipe or this bar. I'm just going to cut it, whoop, and I might just make a little U shape to go around it. The intake manifold, I don't know. I got to put it back because I forgot about the intake manifold. It's going to be somewhere around this area. So I'm gonna do that now. All right, here's the carburetor, and it's already a problem. I do want to use this crazy race car air filter here because I don't know, I think it'd be cool. I doubt that'll actually change the rigidity of this go-kart or whatever. It's got 1,000 and billion cross members going across the bottom, and I'm pretty sure all this does is hold up this pretend roll cage here. But I will probably still make a loop underneath or run some tubing down here. What I don't know is, I know my fuel inlet is right here and exhaust is right here. That's like really, really close. I don't know what to do about that. Do a 90 out here, 90 degree. That seems hard to do. All right, carbs on there. Fits just fine. It's got a little plastic spacer in between. I just got to put the paper gasket on that side. All right, looks good, looks good. Now I'm just gonna finish weld this, grind around these bolts so I can actually get them in and out. And then I'll smooth all this out real nice, and I might even paint this thing. All right, so the intake manifold took a little bit longer than I thought it would. So I started this on Sunday, it's now Wednesday, and the intake manifold is complete. Now, tonight, we're gonna work on getting the engine mounted to its little plate that it mounts to, and the torque converter situated, everything lined up, holes drilled. And then we'll look at maybe getting it onto the go-kart itself if we have time tonight. All right, so this is what we're working with here. I've already mocked this up once earlier before the video. Things we gotta do. This is rubbing against these little nubs on the case. I'm just gonna grind those down and they should be good. The clearance will be enough after I grind these nubs off. This jack shaft that goes through the center, as you see, there's no threads showing here. So what I gotta do, I think I can back this side off right to the end and then push the whole shaft through, and it'll give me just enough to get a couple threads on there, and it'll be okay. I did a little bit of research about this, but it should be all right to put just a little bit of preload into this, tighten it down. This little tab, this tab, there's like a little piece of angle iron here that mount this this tube in place. They're going to be in the way of the engine. I want to be able to adjust it forwards and backwards if I need to. This is, it might could go a little bit tighter, but these aren't supposed to be super duper tight. If possible, I'd like to, there's already a zillion holes drilled into this from different motors over the years, but I'll go ahead and maybe slot these just like these holes and make the motor adjustable forwards and backwards. I'm gonna cut off whatever these were. I think they maybe were chain guards or something at one point in time. I think I'm gonna work on these nubs first. It's perfect, no interference all the way around. It's good, it's good. Perfect. All right, my nut only has about half of its thread engagement on here. It'll probably be all right. I'm gonna throw some red Loctite on both of these actually, so they don't come off. There's two bearings in here in this tube. They don't feel the greatest. I don't know how they're gonna withstand this thing, but yeah, we'll just let it go for now until it's a problem. I got some bolts run down through our holes, and everything's on there. I'm unsure about the pulleys. I'm probably gonna enlarge the holes instead of slotting them because that's just what I want to do. And so I can tweak the motor left and right. It might be all right. It's hard to see with this roll bar in the way. It's pretty close. All right, bigger problem is we have interference between the chain and this cover here on the front of the motor. There's plenty of room behind here. I'm going to cut a chunk of that out and reverse it and give myself some clearance. I'm gonna mark it and cut it out. All right, got it on there, got our belt on there. I think it's pretty close. I might need to come this way just a little bit. I think that the engine, it's hard to tell. I mean, I think the engine's a little bit too far that way. The chain now has clearance. It's good. I need to soak this chain down with some oil so it actually loosens up. It's pretty rusty. I need to get some decent bolts to bolt that thing down and bolt that plate down. Then we can start working on the fuel tanks. Also, we got to work on this brake. This is spinning freely of the axle. I think the set screws fell out or something. All right, for the fuel tank, I'm gonna be using this refrigerant tank off of an AC machine. This is a 1234YF tank, like for newer cars. So it's smaller. I got this a long time ago and I painted it up because I thought it looked like a bomb shape, thought it would be cool. I did not plan on using it as a tank at first. But then I got this go-kart and I realized it would make a good tank. I made two of these. This one's the better one of the two. Drill the hole. I'm probably gonna get like a bolt-on fuel cap for right here, a little one, or I may even 3D print like a rubber cap with a hole for a vent. I'll figure that out later. But it's got a nice fuel shut off on the back, just like, because it's a refrigerant tank. And I'm gonna mount it right about here, I believe. I am not sure how I'm gonna do that. Maybe with some straps or something. I'll figure that out now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so I went ahead and ran some fuel line. I figured you guys didn't need to see me searching through all my crap to find some fuel line that will actually work. Put this fuel filter on here. This was actually what was on the motor when I got it. That's why it's a little used. Before I zip tie all this down, I'm gonna go ahead and dump a little bit of fuel in here and make sure it doesn't leak out of this crazy fitting up here that's just kind of hose clamped on. And I just gotta, it is a little rigged up, but I think it'll be okay. Washer, nut, we're gonna do it sideways. All right, so phone died, and it's a couple hours later now. It's nighttime. I went ahead and 3D printed a small rubber cap or TPU cap for the tank. This is just like first iteration. It's kind of difficult to get out of there, honestly. So I'm gonna make a taller one with like a part I can grab maybe. And this obviously, the bottom layer came off. That's why you can see the grid. Whatever. It's sealed up for now. My throttle cable came in. I installed it on the carburetor. I'm not going to show you how to do that. There's a million videos about how to hook up these to that. It's not a big deal. You unscrew it and hook it through the hole, whatever. Now all I got to do is hook it up to the cart down there. All right, so it took me like 850 years to find a nut that I needed for this throttle cable. Anyways, I installed the throttle cable where it attaches to the rod. There's a rod going from the pedal all the way back, and right here, I actually used a hose clamp to clamp that throttle cable to that. I cannot tell if it's actually opening the throttle all the way. I'm gonna put you guys down here, and you watch it, and then tell me if it's opening all the way. Got it? That's it, it's full throttle. All right, it looks pretty much full throttle to me. If it's not full throttle, it's close enough. Let me put that air filter back on. And it's got a flat tire, but I can finally sit in it and hit the throttle. And gas isn't gonna spill on my head. I just can't go out to the yard with this open header. It's gonna be super duper loud. And yeah, let's get it going. Let's drive it. Decided to just do a quick spin around in the driveway. It definitely hauls ass. It's like super fast. But my plug did not hold up there. It's leaking everywhere. So, gotta come up with a new plan. I still really want to use this tank because it's cool. Brakes don't work like at all, pretty much, even though when you jack it up, hit the brakes, it stops. But yeah, brakes don't work worth a crap. We'll work on that tomorrow. Good Good morning. Got a little side quest today, side mission. I need to do an oil change on my truck. Back to the go-kart. Well, welcome back. I know it's only been a few seconds for you, but it's been like 2 weeks for me. We had Christmas, New Year's, my birthday, bunch of stuff happened, and I was waiting on parts and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to show you where we're at. I think we're just about done with this thing. First problem was the gas cap. I ended up 3D printing a cap with a flange, like a twist cap. Well, I can't grab it with this hand. So I ended up printing out this cap out of TPU. It's got like a flange, and I siliconed it on with some Permatex Ultra Black. The cap is supposed to be threaded, but it does kind of thread on there if you do it real easy. But I found just pushing it on seals it up real good. I haven't actually driven it yet, but I've shook it all around, and it doesn't appear that it's leaking fuel. As for the vent, well, I don't know. This isn't super sealed. We'll figure it out if it's a problem with the fuel getting starved from the carburetor, but I think it's going to be all right. Second problem was the brakes, and this is where I've done a lot of work off camera. So originally it had a mechanical caliper right here. And I've converted the go-kart to hydraulic brakes. And I know that's a pretty big thing to do off camera in a build, but whatever. I bought this off of Amazon for 25 bucks. Came with a dual piston caliper, like there's a piston on both sides of the rotor here. The steel braided line, the master cylinder, and the reservoir for 25 bucks. I thought that was pretty good. I think it's made for like those Chinese four-wheelers and stuff. I made up a bunch of brackets. I made up this bracket right here that mounts the master cylinder. There's a whole lever. Let's see if I can get you down here. There's like a whole lever system. Everything's bolt on. It bolts onto the frame right here. The lever goes down. And it attaches to the brake rod right here. So when the brake rod pulls, it pulls this lever, pushes on the master cylinder. And it seems to work, and everything's bolted on. The bracket that I made for this is a 1/4 inch thick. It's not moving anywhere. Everything is removable and adjustable. And the last thing was I had to replace the red spring with a yellow reverse wound spring on this torque converter, because these are actually designed on the 40 series torque converters for this to be flipped, for the spring to be on this side. So it's basically ready, I think, to go on a test run. It is the middle of the night, and I don't have any lights out there in the yard, so we might have to reserve that for the weekend.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die. Hey, swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide. Always
that's it for the go-kart build. I drove it around today. It was super duper fun. Everything's working on it. The brakes didn't hold up. The the pads are completely gone now, so I don't think I think I'm gonna have to upgrade that caliper to like a bigger, heavier duty caliper or something. It's okay. I made everything unboltable. It's really, really fast. It's really fun with all the leaves on my yard and stuff, sliding it around. I did end up 3D printing the cap for that tank out of PETCF, and I epoxied it on. There's a rubber seal, and it's sealed up. Doesn't leak out. So that worked out good. I think I'm probably going to start up a Patreon soon, and over on Patreon, I'll do little stuff like putting a different caliper on it, you know, about behind the scenes kind of thing, or maybe on my Instagram, but whatever. I appreciate everybody watching this video, and I know it's not car content, but it's car guy content as far as I'm concerned. This is the fun stuff right here. Quick, cheap. I think total money spent for this thing, let's see, about 80, 25, 50, less than $200 to make for this go-kart. And I don't know what the top speed is, but I know it's fast, and that's all that matters, really. Also, before I let you go, today is exactly 10 days since my YouTube channel went live, and I posted 4 videos from the get-go, and I'm already knocking on 500 subscribers, and all the videos did very well except for one, which did okay. I can't believe how successful it's been so far. If this is all that I ever got, I'd be super pleased. Like, anything more than this is beyond my expectations. So if you're one of the first people that has subscribed this week, I greatly appreciate you, and there will be more coming, I promise, including actual automotive car content. It's on the way. I got big stuff coming. Thanks for watching.